Hi everyone, I'm back and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I'd do this video, and the reason why I thought I'd do this video is because a lot of my friends and also my younger sister is going into university. So I thought I'd give you guys that are my subscribers advice on, you know, tips on what to expect from university. At the time when I started YouTube, I was going into uni. I don't think there were many videos out there should have telling you what to expect and what you should do. And now that I'm working now, so after going for uni and then postgraduate, doing my masters, and I feel like I have a perspective of what is to come after uni and then my experience at uni. So stay tuned for the advice I have to give, and I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you. Be open to meeting new people. I think meeting people is probably one of the most vital things you do at uni, because then it makes your uni experience worthwhile. And most people that gain friends at university, they always end up being lifetime friends, because I mean, what's really after uni is work. And if there are not many people in your workplace, or if you work for a small company, it's so hard to gain as much friends except for uni. So be open to meeting new people. If you're introverted in nature, then I think you should put yourself in an environment where you're sort of forced to make friends. So joining society, going out regularly, so that you're not a prisoner of your own space and you don't end up staying in your room all the time and feeling lonely. If you're really lonely at university, that could affect every area of your life, be it your studies or your overall uni experience. I think life is meant to be enjoyed with other people, and it makes everything worthwhile. It makes your goal a lot more sustainable. So it's important that you do make friends and make as much friends as possible. Which leads me on to my second tip, is diversify your friendship group at university. I think if you stick to one friendship group, it may be too toxic for you at a certain, we always have fallout with friends. At a certain point, it might be too much, and that could ruin your whole uni experience. And this happens to quite a lot of people. So what I would advise is diversify your friendship group. I think have like your academic friends or friends from your course where you study together, and those sort of friends will call you when they're going to the library. So your friends that you know that you can call on when it comes to your course and things that you have to do on your course, and you can have like friends you turn up with, those ones that would always call you and say there's this happening tonight, or do you want to go to this thing in another town or whatever. So you always need a nice variety of groups of friends. I had friends from my entrepreneurial group, I had from ACS, I had my law course is one, and I did Mandarin, so I always had a nice balance of friends. So if I felt like I needed to focus on a particular area, then I'd be with that certain group of people. And also, I think friendships help to broaden your perspective as well, like see life from different angles and make your own judgment. It makes life a lot more interesting as well, don't you think? So I'd advise that you diversify your friendship group. Most important tips, and it's identify your strengths and play to them. Okay, I think most people when going into university, they don't give you like core advice and core key skills that you need to know. Most of us also go into university because our parents said so, or society tells us that if we don't have a university degree, then we can't get a job afterwards. So like to be honest, we don't even know why we're going. We're just going because that's what everyone expects from us. But the truth is like you at university, you learn so many key skills and you learn a lot about yourself. And the only way to really excel at uni is to identify where your strengths lie and where your weaknesses lie. Now, if you know the sort of person you are, you're able to really play to your advantage and identify your weaknesses, and also know how to manipulate that and turn those weaknesses into strengths. So for example, university and academia is very tailored to a specific personality type, and if you're the sort of person who is very strategic, you like routine, you like things step by step, and you're sort of introverted, then I think academia is like a lot tailored to your personality, because then you know how to be more organized. However, if you're very creative in nature, so you're a bit all over the place, but it means that you are the life of the party, you know how to like generate amazing ideas, you know, you're like the CEO of like, you know, you see the future sort of thing. Now the downside to that is you're not as organized as this other personality type, and you may struggle a bit. And if you find yourself struggling with work, then it means that everything falls behind, and then you end up getting like terrible grades, and that's not your fault. It's because you haven't really identified what it is you're really good at and how you can play to that. For example, I did law at university. Now the great thing about law is that there's no definite answer, unlike if you're doing a maths problem where you can actually go through steps and reach a particular solution. Now with law, you have to generate arguments and ideas from your head, which is very tailored towards like someone who loves to think about ideas and crazy shit, right? So but the thing is, with law, to answer a particular question, you need to, after thinking about those ideas, you need to write them in a way that they flow in a strategic manner. Now if you don't get that structure right, then your grades are going to go low. So law expects that you have a balance between those skills, being able to generate amazing ideas, but also putting them in a coherent manner. Now if you know that you fall you lack on one side, I suggest like you hang out with friends that would help you identify. You should hang out with friends that would help you, that would help you understand how to answer things in very structured, or you go to your tutor and you ask for help. It's also helpful that you take a personality test, okay, before you even start any course. And I love the ipersonic.com survey test, and I think it's pretty accurate. You could take others as well, but I'm mostly familiar with Ipersonic, and I leave it here, right? And it tells you the sort of person you are and what's good for you. It's important that you understand your key skills, but especially for the career path that you want to take in the future, because there's no point wanting to be something when it's completely opposite to you. You're going to struggle a lot and life is going to seem terrible to you. So it's important that you play to your key strengths. Okay, so the next point I'm going to give is work hard and play harder. I think the human mind and the human body needs a lot of play. It makes life worthwhile. Like if you know you're going to work hard intensively, then you must balance it with some fun. Your body needs some fun as well, and also your body needs to mentally develop itself. So it's nice to have a good balance, okay? So if you know that you enjoy play quite a lot, so it means that your studies are going to be greatly affected. But then again, you can be more organized and say, okay, actually I'm going to stick to 1 hour of work this morning and make sure that I understand it as perfectly as I possibly can, which includes me talking to friends who are amazing at this topic, or talking to my tutor about this, and then after that I'm going to reward myself with some play. I think it gives your uni experience a nice balance, and you can enjoy it really well, because if you're enjoying your play, if you're enjoying this amazing entertainment side of your life and your grades are low, then you're going to be a bit depressed, and you're going to, I don't know, life is just going to seem really weird. But the best way to do that is enjoy both of them, and then life would be amazing afterwards. So work hard and play harder, and make sure that your fun is simultaneous to your studies. The next tip I'd say is join a society. Again, this is all about expanding your perspective and opening yourself to things that you never thought you could do. There's so many societies in uni, sports societies, just religious societies, just anything, cultural societies. I'd advise that you just go there and open your mind. Like, it gives you a different perspective to what you're used to, and then life just seems a lot more interesting. Again, you can make friends here, and this can completely redirect your life path and you know what goal you thought you had for yourself. University is a time where you're completely independent and you're forced to think for yourself, and it's very selfish. So it's a time for you, and it's important that you nourish yourself and you open your mind to so many things that can define you in the future. In fact, being part of all these societies, I mean, I joined the African Caribbean Society, Photography Society, Entrepreneur Society, because I wanted to open my mind, okay? And you know, being exposed to all of these could also help you redirect your life's goal, okay? Because if you're familiar with something, then in the future you're like, oh, because I did that and that seemed quite interesting, then I think I'm going to go towards that path instead, because I've thought that I flourished a lot in that area. So yeah, the next step I'm going to do, the next point I'm going to touch on is identify your life goal and work around it. I know it's really hard, because university, you're thinking, I really don't know what I want to be, but I'm just doing this anyway. Again, this is all down to playing to your key strengths. Once you know that you're this sort of personality, then you can start looking at jobs that fit that spectrum of your skills or your strengths. Like, for example, if you're very creative, or if you take directions very well, or if you're very creative, or if you're very detailed, then a particular job type, you match your skills to what the job is asking for, okay? So look at like a specific job that you really like and you think you see yourself doing, and then match up what your strengths are to it, okay? Because when you're at work and you don't like what you're doing, right, it means that you're working against yourself, which doesn't really make sense. So you should work to your skills, and if you know what you could really be good at, then you enjoy it more, okay? And that is all working to your key skills and strengths, okay? So the last tip I'm going to give is find a part-time job. Uni is not fun when you're broke all the time. Actually, being broke is fun, but when you can't do shit, okay, uni is not fun at all. So I advise that you look for little things. I think universities always provide little like ways you can gain income and stuff. University is also the best time to start a business, because then there's so many grants and just free money that the university provides, and just free stuff. And I mean, you should really take advantage of that, okay? Even if you want to start a clothing line or some silly idea, just do everything at university. Get like a part-time job, but not something that drains you and that takes away all your free time. Like, for example, university has like random jobs that they do pay students for, so like student ambassadors, student guides. I mean, I was a cloakroom girl at university, and then I used to do people's hair as well. So it's just a way to gain some income, and then you can have more fun. All right. And then I know one of my friends who used to sell like condoms in the club to uni students who, you know, were a bit reckless. But just look for little mini jobs that you can do that would make you at least financially independent anyway. But we've come to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and just leave comments below for just discussing what sort of tips and advice would you give to people going to university. I think it's really helpful if we help each other and help people that are going to university, because then life after uni is crazy, okay? And you want to be prepared for that. So I'll see you in my next video, and take care.